Hello.
Hello.
How are
How are
you?
you? I'm good. It's summertime is coming feeling.
Yeah. Oh my
You
gosh.
remember this as an educator?
I mean, that's what I love about being an educator, that you get a little bit of time to like decompress and then like regenerate ideas for another semester.
It's a beautiful thing. Can't lie.
Yeah. Well,
I
I'm
need
so
it.
glad we made this happen.
It was so destined.
Yeah, and I just love how it kind of came together, like how you saw me on a different live, and then somehow
I
we
saw your
started.
name. I was like, she's my kind of people. Click.
Yeah, and then I was like poking around on your profile, and I was like, oh my gosh, like television and media studies, USC, and University of
K-pop.
Chicago, K-pop, like, oh my gosh, there is a lot of alignment
Crossover.
here.
It was so much. I
Yeah.
mean, I saw your picture and I was like, yeah. I'm starting to be able to distinguish the different type of Asians, girl. I'm
Oh,
like, I think,
really?
oh yeah. hmm I'm
Well,
not perfect at it, but I'll
yeah.
be like, I think she Korean.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say nothing until she tell me though.
That's so awesome. Because like a lot of actually like Korean people think that I'm Chinese.
Really?
Um, Yeah, and I rarely get Japanese, but I feel like very few people think I actually look Korean.
I think you do.
Well, yeah, and then when I'm in Korea, like I do look Korean enough that I don't get stopped, but
Oh, okay.
but but I
It's
still
iffy.
don't yeah, but I still don't feel like 100%.
And then I also know I have a very strong magnetic thing. So
Yeah,
I
you.
assume you're Korean until you tell me you're not.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, that's really funny. I mean, it's like a radar. Like, I mean,
hmm
also, I think it's because you do a lot of research. You're really
That
in
too.
the world of K-pop.
I'm in
Uh,
it.
you think about it not just as like a fan, but you're
Mhm.
also an observer. You're like, a cultural engineer. So you have a very strong radar because you're in it, not just personally, but also it's like I think we've had conversation in the past about how you were called to do a certain type of work.
hmm
And so, like that
That would
intercultural,
make sense that that would be a
exactly.
vehicle. It did. I mean, it didn't really occur to me that it was that until really me and you talked, though. And
Mm.
then another friend who I took to a K-pop concert who knew me from college, and she's like, Tracy, you're the one to do this type of work. And I was like, it is me, isn't it?
Well, yeah. So I actually want to talk to you about that. So,
hmm
okay. So kyopost.com, I started a little while back because, in Korea, so I taught like media communications and English in
Okay.
Korea for maybe 10, a little over 10 years. And what I was
Wow.
always frustrated about is
Okay.
all the curriculum that we use doesn't center Korean people. So,
Oh.
mhm.
Oh.
So it's like,
Okay.
so not only, like language is a carrier of culture. So not only are we teaching English, um, that is a different culture there, but we're also
Yeah.
not centering them. We're basically saying, you're like an auxiliary perspective. You're not the protagonist of the
The
story when
story.
you're learning English. So I was really frustrated by that. And so I
Wow.
really wanted to create curriculum that centered Koreans in Korea learning English.
Yeah, that
Um,
makes sense.
right? And so
Yeah.
I started kyopost.com as sort of like an education tool to bridge Korea to its diaspora because we
hmm
have diaspora all over the world. And I wanted
hmm
them to learn from the perspective of a person with Korean heritage that, is in different
Parts of
countries.
the world. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So
And so,
not just a Korean national in Korea.
right.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's very
And
specific.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of my big projects through killpost.com is really about um, cross-cultural communication and about what stories, what people are centered, what people aren't, who gets to tell the story, who doesn't belong, what are the nuances to belonging, what kind of safety do you need to belong? Like, there's a lot of work that needs to be done um, to sort of make sure that everybody feels like they can belong when they're
Yes.
together.
Man, that's such important work, and it's only a few of us who would have the lived experiences to be able to even know that that's the work.
It's so true.
Yeah.
And I think you have to have a certain type of like feeling like you didn't belong in a place to understand um, that perspective too.
Yeah.
Uh, so, I really would love to get into this conversation, and thank you so much for like making the time and
Yeah. And
like,
I said we shouldn't talk too much that first time so we can just invite people on that
yeah.
conversation. That would be selfish of us to keep it to ourselves.
Oh my gosh, you're so funny. Um, so I think one of the reasons I really wanted to chat with you is because, like, K-pop fandom um, is interesting to me because I got into K-pop when I was, like 12 or 13, and that
Okay.
was so many decades before K-pop was a thing, like in the
Like a
world.
big deal. Yeah, yeah.
And so it
So
was
what
in
generation is it considered? First, second? Do you know?
first generation
Oh,
K-pop.
you first gen. Okay.
Yeah,
I
like
know what
first
that
gen.
means.
Do you like
Hmm.
HOT?
Yes, that's the name I would have said.
Yeah.
TOP? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And like SES and
SES, that's the other one. Uh-huh.
yeah, Turbo.
Okay.
Like
The
that was
originators, the architects.
yes,
The
exactly.
James Brown of the K-pop.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Um, and so it was like that was a very insider thing for me. So like when I said I like K-pop, I would never tell my Western peers. It was only
Hmm.
like Korean people that I would feel safe to be like, oh,
Yeah,
you listening to this
of
music too.
course.
And so like it's been very surreal to see so many people
Ooh, I
place.
bet.
So surreal.
Whoa. This has to be what it feels like to be like a first generation hip hop lover.
Ooh,
And
that's a
then it
great
just
question.
blows up. And when
Mhm.
you was liking it, it wasn't the cool thing.
No, it was not
Hmm.
the cool thing. And so now that it's cool, there are so many different cultures
Yeah,
that, um,
participating.
yes.
That have
And,
their take on it. And it's different in every ethnicity and country.
and so I love to know like a little
You
bit
want a
about
little
how
hint?
you got.
Okay. Okay. I can only talk through the lens of BTS Army.
Okay.
So I say K-pop for people who don't know the difference between BTS and Stray Kids, but you
Okay.
know that there's a difference between BTS and Stray Kids. Okay. But in Army, everyone knows the difference between Korean Army, Japanese Army, Indian Army, Brazilian Army, Mexican Army, and then it's not American Army. It's Vegas Army, Texas Army.
What?
There are subcultures within the culture. We participate in fandom very differently. We have different rules of propriety, expectation, what's cool, what's not cool. If you Indian Army, you better be streaming, streaming, streaming. You better stream and get those numbers up or you're not real Army.
Oh
And
my God.
Americans are like, we don't do all that. But in Korean Army, it's it's impolite to be so hype at the concert. You got to be a little bit dignified. And then in Japan, you got to be even more dignified, which is why I know I can't go to a K-pop concert in Asia, by the way, because
Interesting.
they'll kick me out. I will be too wild. So
Really?
there's levels of like wildness, freedom, expression versus demure, expression, respectful. Here we go. This is Japanese Army right here. And with the phone. But Vegas Army?
Yeah.
Mexican Army? Woo! Like
Oh
Brazilian Army? Yeah, girl.
This is
It's
so
cultures within the culture.
Yeah. Okay,
So
so
we're
that's
participating with your heritage in nuanced ways.
yeah.
Very nuanced ways.
That's so cool. And I
So
love
much
that you
fun.
know the difference.
Oh yeah, I've been watching and participating. The lived experience helped me the most.
Yeah.
You know, I just had to go full auto ethnographic mode. Not calling it that, but knew that that's what I was doing, but didn't want to do it by the rules of traditional academia. So I was just having fun and noticing. But I noticed enough to start doing pattern recognition.
Right. And
So,
so it was BTS that brought you in.
it was definitely them. And
And
that's where I stayed until K-pop Demon Hunters.
oh, interesting. Wait, so I'm curious, like, what was like what was it about BTS that brought you in?
So it was 2020, right before the pandemic. I was visiting my mom. My mom is an avid Tonight Show watcher. She's been watching Tonight Show since Jay Leno and the one before that, I forget his name. So she just turns it on. And that particular night, it was these 7 Asian boys, and that's how she would have said it. Yes, these 7 Asian boys, girl, they could dance. And she said it just like that.
Yes.
And she's like, I just saved it for you. Just watch it. And she's like, but when you watch it, I want to see you watch it.
Yeah.
And so I watched it. And she's like, they good, huh? They good. I was like, yeah. Because I'm a theater person, a performance lover. Our family is very, performative. So we love a good show.
Yeah.
And it was a dance break in the song called On, where it had this, like, it was reminiscent of
Yes.
Black Greek step culture and like drumline culture from like the Black college experience, that we was like, oh, they did that really well. They got a lot of cultural clout from that performance from my family and then from me. And I remember at that time I knew that I wanted to be curious and follow the rabbit hole of where they would have even known how to do that. But I remember at the time I was starting to date my ex-fiance again. And I was like, I'm going to have to put a pin on them. It was almost like intuitively I knew that they were going to just suck me all the way.
Interesting.
And it wasn't until me and him broke up that I even had the energetic space. And I found, like, I was watching YouTube and I saw the next thing I would have seen intentionally was a carpool karaoke,
Yes.
James Corden.
That's
And that was it. It was done for me after that. I was just like, oh, I like them.
yeah.
They my kind of people. They just seem like good people.
You
And that
know,
was it.
this is really funny because I think so I actually, okay, this is kind of embarrassing, but I was not really into BTS until
Uh-huh.
the pandemic.
Yeah.
They came on like NPR's Tiny Desk concert.
Oh,
And
yeah.
as soon as I heard Dynamite, I was like, what is this song? Like, I want
Okay.
to hear more.
You want to dance. You want to have a good time.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And then, I was living in Korea at the time, so it must have been
Oh,
there, but I just
okay.
wasn't familiar.
So you were in Seoul.
Yes, I was.
Wow, during the pandemic. Ooh, that's
I
a whole
was.
nother conversation.
It was a great place to be during the
Was it?
Yes.
You had a good pandemic. Me too. I had a good one too. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh, it was a good pandemic. I mean,
It was a good
yes, it was a good pandemic because actually, Korean citizens listen to the government because they can, I mean, I won't get into that.
I get it. I
Yeah.
kind of know what you're about to say.
Okay.
Y'all
I
just
won't.
did what they said do, and that's why it was good. Okay.
That's right. We all did the social distancing. We
Y'all
did
was
the math.
good.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. Yeah, we
You
did
wasn't
question
playing
time.
no games.
That's right.
I mean, they wear
Um,
masks on a regular day, so.
and so it was good.
Mhm.
And so I got into it, and then I was like, and then me, like, I can't just enjoy, like, I have
Yeah.
to learn. So then I was like, started to analyze. I was like, oh my gosh, there's a HBR like article. Okay, I gotta go read that. I gotta go see how like American like media is portraying them. And so I had to go watch like carpool karaoke. Like I just had to
Did
understand.
we do our birth charts and we are both Sag rising?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is? Okay. I have
I
a I have a feeling you're a Sagittarius rising like me.
I feel like I'm an Aries
Oh,
rising.
are you? Okay.
Wait, me okay. I will have to message you later.
Please.
There's something
Because
Sagittarius.
you said I can't enjoy without learning.
Yes, I can't
That's a
enjoy without
thing.
learning. It's
Yeah.
very cerebral for me. Like
Yeah.
it has to make sense
Yes.
logically for me to
I
buy
can't just
into the joy.
mindlessly enjoy stuff. I need to be research it, knowledge, enjoy it.
Yeah,
Research and knowledge and enjoy it.
yes, that's exactly. And then it's like once the logic, it passes the logic
That
system,
test, now
then
I'm
I
like,
allow my
yay.
body to enjoy
Yes.
it.
It's
Okay,
something,
so there's
something
something here. Um,
astrologically is probably a thread between us.
oh yeah, for sure. And so I wanted to know, so you got into BTS and then so it was really about like the theatricality, I think you were
It
talking about
was the
performance.
performative element. I always tell people if you played me a BTS song, but I couldn't see them dancing, and then I couldn't get a sense of their personality, I wouldn't have been a BTS fan. The
Mm,
music itself does really not that much for me.
yeah.
I'm black.
That's something I
Dynamite
wanted to
is,
ask you about.
okay. I got Michael Jackson, Prince, New Edition, In
Yes.
Vogue, TLC, SWV, Aaliyah, Brandy, Monica, Beyonce,
Aaliyah.
Destiny's Child. I mean, I'm not hurting for no good sounding music,
That's exactly right. And
but
so I
that
wanted to ask
dancing.
about that.
Well, okay, go ahead.
So yes, the dancing. And then earlier you were talking about like the drum line that
Yeah.
uh and so I wanted to ask you about like as like when you're watching and you're seeing these sources of inspiration, right?
Mhm.
Like it does like so much of K-pop comes from Black culture.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so like there's a lot of people talking about like um you don't have K-pop without um, all of the Black music that came before it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I just wanted to know, like, what are your like thoughts about those kinds of discourses that are happening?
I love that they're happening because they just need to. Um, the hot takes, though, I usually don't. I like to go in and correct and make stuff nuanced. That's really what I like to do. Is like help people expand beyond their particular cultural lens. So whether that's with Asians, blacks, whoever that I think is participating in good faith,
Yeah.
I like to problematize. Like, no, but actually, on both sides. So you were okay. So you were talking about me saying about the drum line. I'm gonna be honest with you. At the time, I wasn't thinking about, oh, that's a black cultural connection.
I see.
Nothing intellectually saying I appreciate them for nothing. It was something rhythmically, somatically in my body that connected because that is the sound that my body dances to.
Yeah.
And then I watched someone do a great job of it.
Yeah.
And that was all that matters to me in that moment. And honestly, it's what I usually am paying attention to when I talk about them.
Yeah.
Then you have the people on the outside looking in who have not let the somatics affect them at all, and they just want to gab about what they know about the politics of this. So I always suggest people who are intellectually curious people try it. Go to a party, go to a show, give it a chance, see how you feel in the space,
Yeah.
and then make your qualified statements about the politics of it. Because
Yeah.
if you do it any other way, you'll never your body will never land fully to connect body to body, human to human with them and the music. And you'll just skip this whole what I'm now seeing as the ancestral connection,
Mm-hmm.
where our ancestors are speaking in the ethers, saying these two groups of people need to dance together, let
Yeah.
them sing together, let them eat each other's food. They're going to like it. They're going to like each other because they done been through the same stuff. And then that spark,
Yes.
that's what the powers that be don't want to happen. So, of course, in the algorithm, this discourse is going to be about division and
Of course.
misunderstandings.
And that's
No, demon
exactly,
hunt.
yeah. I mean, and
Hmm.
so like if you think about like what trends or what um like people are hurting, right? And
Yeah,
like hurt people hurt people.
yeah.
And so like the things that do sort of steer the discourse into even more division is
Hurt,
yes. And also
pain.
like yeah, and there's a lot of like this or this. It's like you can have both, right? Like there's no one protagonist and um it's just we're all coexisting together,
Yes,
right? And
yes.
so you're right. Like it is hard to say that I mean I really like how you framed that. And so my question to you is as you know, you go through the music. Ooh, who is this? Lady P 241712. Both and. Yes, that's exactly right. Both and. That's
That
so good.
both and is the way.
That's the way forward. Exactly.
Hmm.
And so like a lot of questions that I have for you, like I think in a previous conversation we had, we were talking about like you know, I'm originally born and raised. I was born and raised in Los Angeles. And I like moved around and lived in Korea. And so, like, belonging and safety has always been like identity has always been a challenge for me. And
Hmm.
I wonder, like, about your sort of because you've traveled a bit too and
Hmm.
you've been in many different spaces.
Hmm.
And I'm wondering, like, that really changes. I think when you're able to live in different places, you have the ease of putting on different cultural lenses.
Hmm.
So I was wondering, can you speak about how your exploration of like moving from place to place has informed your understanding of culture? And yeah,
I think it's made my lens exactly the kind that's able to explore different cultures so readily, right? And be just naturally curious to and know how to ask certain questions. Like not because the humility that comes with being the outsider visiting a new place will put you in a space where you're looking at a thing from a perspective you might not had the access to because in that another space you might be more privileged or the opposite. You could be disadvantaged and now you're advantaged. So an example I always think of is when I did study abroad in London. I did it my last year at USC. And I remember my idea of the UK was just tea and crumpets, the queen. I just saw white people in my mind who drank their tea like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I walked in my dorm room, I couldn't believe how diverse it was.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had a roommate. He was Filipino with a British accent. Like what?
Yeah.
A foreign exchange student from Bangladesh. Uh, 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 I think he was Indian, but he was from Manchester. And there was another study abroad girl, and she
Okay.
was biracial from America. She went to University of Michigan. I was like, where the pair of white people at? I mean, like that blew my mind, right?
Yeah.
So to land in that space and then feel this camaraderie,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the same time, I remember the moderator at our orientation was like, "You are in a new country. You will be going through different sensations and experiences that your body has never experienced before.
Yeah.
Prepare to change your mind. Prepare to see different sides of yourself." And I remember, because I was a little holier than thou preacher's kid at the time, and I was like,
Oh.
not me. I'm not changing. You don't get to decide that in a space like that. The environment, the experience you're having every day is you're in the process of becoming who
Mm.
you're gonna be.
Yes.
London was the first time I dated someone interracially.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was a big deal for me. So like, yeah, it's such a unique lens that if you haven't done it, you just only we can speak to it with wisdom, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So that was, I guess, so going to London was a humbling experience for you, in the beginning. And then I wonder, like, as you came back to the States, like, I think, the first time I moved from the States to Korea, it was such a culture shock for me. But then on the way back, it was
That's a
worse.
culture shock too.
Yes. And so
Yeah.
I was curious, like, how did that experience of living in London, being in an interracial relationship for the first time, seeing diversity after having expected not to be seeing diversity, how did that impact your lens seeing your home again?
I do remember this sense of isolation from all of my friends from college who didn't do to study abroad. And I remember seeking out the people who did,
Hmm.
like, because as if we were the only ones who could understand each other. And then, oddly enough, I went right back into, an academic space. I went straight into a PhD program at University of Chicago. Now, what's interesting about that is that Chicago is my birthplace.
Hmm.
So when I chose to go there, it was not just me going to one of the most prestigious universities in the world. It was me going back home as a grown up for the first time. My grandmother was alive at the time, and my nephew was only like 5. I was going to connect to my family. Um, so I think for me, I had to kind of like take off the hat of being the world explorer for a while and just get back into academic mode at this space that was intellectually the most intimidating I've ever been to. And then just to relate back to my folk again as a regular schmegler person and not the snooty intellectual. So I didn't have much time to sort out
Hmm.
that part, but I guess that probably was also the skill that I had to navigate those two cultures in Chicago. And I did both. I did both. And
Yeah.
I was the studious student going to class, going to the library on campus, and then off campus, I was like, hey, party time, right? With my friends and family. So just being able to like move in different cultural spaces, navigating that is its own skill set.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm curious, so you did television studies, or you studied cinema and
Cinema. Hmm.
television for your
Uh-huh.
bachelor's at USC,
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
and then you did
Cinema and
media,
media at
cinema
University of
at
Chicago.
US. Yeah, right.
Hmm.
And so I'm curious, like, do you remember, like, oh, I'm going to school because I want to achieve XYZ, or were you just following your interest and seeing where it would take you?
I was following my interest and seeing where it would take me. I think I decided on cinema and television because I was a theater girl up until that point, and we didn't have like a film broadcast class. But my mom got tickets in Hollywood for me to go see my favorite TV show at the time,
Oh, what was
and
that?
Moesha.
Oh,
So Brandy was my
yes,
idol,
Brandy, yeah.
and she got us, the tickets to go see the show live taping. And that was it. After that, I was like, I want to be in Hollywood.
I see.
And so I just followed that. And then I got to USC and realized I didn't like the technicality of production.
Oh, interesting.
I was like, ooh, this is grunt work. It's not as artistic as I thought, especially not at USC.
Oh, yeah.
And so I switched over to critical studies. And that's, the only thing you could do with that is go get a PhD.
Yeah.
So that's what happened to me.
That's so interesting. Yeah. So I got my MFA in filmmaking a lot later in my life after
hmm
starting teaching. Um,
hmm
and I think for me, my whole thing was I want to change the education system in a way that follows more of the production cycle that we use to make art,
Oh,
rather
okay.
than this factory model where we train people to be workers. Um,
Oh.
and so, like, I have a lot of questions to you about, like, how do you see these influences of media and like music and performance and theater? How do you think that impacts culture production?
Mm, mm. I think in this era, it's the fodder for everything. It is the text that gives you the basis to begin cultural production.
Right.
So if I'm telling you that my mom knew that I was gonna like BTS, that's why she saved it. And now, 3 years later, I've taken a group of elementary students and got them to the biggest stage in Nevada because of the inspiration of that media. When up until then I had left K through 12 and didn't think I was coming back. It is the catalyst in this era. If I don't, I mean, I guess the traditional arts can still do that. I'm
Yeah.
not Timothy.
Yeah.
I think any art, but the readily availability, and I think being a part of the Napster generation,
Oh, yes.
I know how that opened up the whole world to me, being able to just I could think up the song and find it immediately. Oh,
Yes.
I went nuts genre wise. I listened to everything. Everything. It was free. And
Yes.
it was on my computer. It takes 20 minutes because it was dial up back then.
Well, sometimes it was like 9 hour.
I would wait. I could go to sleep and have it in the morning. Or then when Netflix would send you the CD in the mail,
I remember.
the access, it was just too much access. Why would
Right.
I not take full advantage?
Yeah. Okay. So the reason I'm kind of taking like the scenic route is because I think a lot about like the critique of K-pop being
Mm-hmm.
um factory engineered. Like there's this element that it's not art. Like I think I just recently watched something where they're talking about like there's this one Swedish person who produces and makes all of this music like for American pop stars like Taylor Swift,
Mm-hmm.
and is also like the one person that gets brought in to create K-pop. But
Mm-hmm.
how it's critiqued in media is different. Like in uh, America, it's still considered art, whereas K-pop is considered factory girls, or like it's it's
Mm-hmm.
it's you know. And so I'm curious, like, what is your take on when you have a chance to like analyze culture
Mm-hmm.
differences? What is like how would you explain what K-pop is to someone who is not familiar with K-pop and is only familiar with like American music or American pop or just,
Yeah.
whatever?
I'm not going to even really be in the intersection between the factory versus art
Yeah.
conversation. I'm going
Okay.
to be in the, that's black people music conversation. That's black music and Asian face. You know that? Like, that's the
Mm,
conversation I'm going to have.
totally.
And the factory part is just kind of, it's linked to that, but that's, Motown was a little factory-ish too. I mean, it was called Motown for
Oh,
Motor City,
yeah.
which was based off the auto industry, which was a factory system. So that critique is not new. And
Mm,
that's who that's their influence is Berry Gordy and Motown.
mm-hmm.
But it's the erasure of that part of acknowledging that I think troubles me the most.
I see.
That makes me the most conflicted being in the intersection of Korean and black culture is because I can see all the areas where they're messing it up. I can see all the areas where they're making mistakes that I always knew would bite them in the butt later, and it's starting to.
Yes.
And like, if you don't deal with that now, that's going to come and haunt you once black Americans and black people start seeing what y'all over there doing. We didn't know about first generation K-pop. We probably didn't know about second, or maybe the third, I think is BTS.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
think that's
we weren't hearing anything la 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 la, not in mass.
yeah.
But once a critical mass of black folks start listening and paying attention, oh baby, we gonna call you out.
Yes.
And that's what's starting to happen.
Yes.
And so you could either get ahead of it or you could let it play out in the culture, in the algorithm. You might not want to let that happen.
That's yes. And so I'm like wondering for you, like, what do you think is the most problematic aspect of K-pop music when it comes to not crediting Black culture?
It's super problematic. Like, okay, so I got in roped in some debate that I didn't mean to turn into a debate, but they made it a debate.
Oh, okay.
So usually the people who are critiquing K-pop have some stake in K-pop. But
Hmm.
this group of people were like the K hip hop, not
Oh,
K though, but like Asian American hip hop.
okay.
And so they were saying, everybody's saying, K music or K hip hop has taken from black culture, but we ain't even doing that great. We not
Mm,
doing that great. And so they're basically saying, since we've never gotten the credit of being the masters of this, how can
mm,
y'all be mad at us for taking it? Or
yeah.
something. It was something like that. And I was like, it's the fact that you're not saying, I found hip hop in a time in my life, the way I talk about K-pop, where I was on the brink of depression. And this
Mhm.
music coming from this group of people inspired me to my depths that all I wanted to do was know everything about their culture.
Mm,
What about them made them produce this music to have this healing effect on my life?
mhm.
That critique, that curiosity never seems to happen. It's marketability.
Yeah.
Can it give me a platform? Can it give me a name? Can it give me access so I can impress the white folks? Oh, did I say that? And that part is skipped over and no curiosity. I mean, once I love BTS, girl, Ray, listen, is this the right ramen I should be eating? I'm making my ramen wrong. Let me get the right kimchi. Let me know how to do a banchan spread. Let me learn a few
Mhm.
words. Annyeonghaseyo. Like, I mean, it was so natural for me to deep dive culturally because I needed to know what was the culture that produced these beautiful people.
Mm,
They're beautiful to me, them seven. So
mhm.
if the culture you come from has anything to do with making you this way, I want to know everything about it. And that reverse conversation doesn't ever seem to happen. Why wouldn't you want to know about the beautiful souls of black people when the music helped bring your people out of a post-war situation that was dire? I mean, I've seen the pictures, Ray. I was like, ooh, that's ghetto. That's the ghetto. and you would skip over my soul
Mm-hmm.
and just take to your
Mm-hmm.
benefit. It hurts our feelings. It's
100%.
hurtful. And that's the part you can't hear in a hot take. That's the pain people don't know how to access. Is that how did this lie of white supremacy reach all the way over the world? That when
Mm-hmm.
we're in the same exact situation, y'all can skip me over and try to ascend to them. But I was doing it too, so
Yeah. Mm.
social mobility, upward mobility,
That's right.
the
Upward.
talented 10th, black excellence. You
Mm-hmm.
remember when we got on the phone, what did I say?
Mm-hmm.
On the phone, I said, listen, I've been trying to prove that Asians are not the only model minority, okay?
That's right.
Who was I trying to prove that to? The same group. What a trick bag.
It is. And something that you were talking about earlier reminded me, like, you know, when you watch Korean dramas, there's like the Korean fried chicken, right?
I've only seen one or two Korean dramas, and one is K-pop Demon Hunters, and the other is Squid Game. I have
Okay.
not gone down the K-drama rabbit hole.
Well, so there's this, I don't know if this is well known, but
Okay.
like Korean fried chicken,
Hmm.
like people love Korean fried chicken, but do you know who taught them to make Korean
The
fried chicken?
people who make the best fried chicken.
It was a black American soldier in
During the
Korea.
Korean War.
That's right. And he or she, I think it was a he. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it was like he was working in the kitchen and like he breaded it a certain way, and that's really
The
like
key.
right. And so things like that,
The black
right?
GIs of the Korean War.
That's right.
Hmm.
And if there's also like well, anyway, there's like a lot of little tidbits here that I could probably go back and scatter back in, but I digress. And I just think about like, when we see these problematic aspects, I think we're talking about a two-way street, how like it can't be a one-way street. Like if you're going to create culture and you're going to make music and you need to, right, like place credit where it's due, but
Yeah.
also have that interest, like that genuine interest. And what I see right now is I know like K-pop, they're seeing the backlash, like because of like BTS and I think their latest album was like the
Asian.
whole controversy around like the Howard University
Oh, I was the
animation.
one who was pushing that controversy in the algorithm. Oh God, yes.
Tell me
I
more.
was pissed. I was pissed.
Please tell us more.
The reason why is because it would have been so easy to do it right. And then it felt like a slap in the face when they said all of these events might not be historically accurate. So you will spend all this money to learn black dance moves, black music, but you couldn't get that little. Howard is our greatest HBCU.
Hmm.
It is the Mecca, as they call it. And even if it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It was so disrespectful to me. And it was so disrespectful. And it just felt like it was, I don't know. Sometimes I'm starting to feel like Hybe, especially, is so good at the K-pop algorithmic machine. They know how to mine black rage. And I think that they're doing it on purpose sometimes.
Interesting.
Yes. Because y'all are so excellent at everything else. You have it down to a science. It's not factory, it's McDonald's,
Mm-hmm.
GMO engineered, hyper formulated. So you got everything else down to a science, but you was gonna slap on that little warning for that. That don't even go. That's like an A student getting an F on a subject that they're good at. What happened? Did you Did you spend a night at the party? Too late. Hive don't mess up.
That's
So when
true.
they do it, and
Yeah.
then it was a hip hop album,
Hmm.
maybe it was just to get black folks' attention to pay attention to the album. I don't believe that it was just so. They like to play villain.
Well,
Oh,
okay.
we're the bad guys.
So then I want to know, like, how did that impact, right? How did that impact your love of BTS?
I love BTS. You ain't gonna be able to say nothing bad about them seven. But I don't mess with that company
Mm.
like that. And I'll be glad the day that they're free from the what I call it, the plantation
Ooh.
of Hive, because they just as enslaved as anybody.
Mm.
It just looks more glamorous, but they in the house and we on the field, but they still on the plantation. And that's exactly the way I see that.
Yeah.
So I give them every pass in the world until, it's something I just can't overlook. Like my favorite member is J-Hope. And last year he made a fashion decision to start wearing grills. And I hate them. And I hated it. But usually I will give them every benefit of the doubt because they saved me from the brink of depression.
Mm.
So if there's anybody who deserves it, I'm going to give it to the people who, if I didn't meet them, I might not be here.
Yeah.
But when they mess up, I feel like it's my job out of love to be the one to critique them first. Why would I let you go outside and you got a booger right here? Let me get that off you, J-Hope. You need to take that. Okay, go on out there. Do your thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's the way I feel about them.
Yeah. So you
So, but,
separate the company
oh God, yes. You have
from
to, I
the art.
think. I think that's wisdom, considering how this culture has provided so much soft power to a nation. It
So
is
true.
a weapon. If they ever said, we don't want to do this no more, do you know that wouldn't be allowed? Like, this is a nuclear weapon that's saying we ain't gonna work no more. I
Hmm.
was like, y'all ain't seen no mob movies ever. You don't know how this works. I used to hear stories about Suge Knight, right? And how he would shake people down to get them to sign a contract. You think that don't happen? You
Yeah.
think that's fiction?
Yeah.
I'm amazed at how fandom and parasociality gets people to forego their critical thinking skills.
That's so true.
That's
Hmm.
the other beef I have as an intellectual who really appreciates critical thinking. When they turn that off and they're in delusion, I can't deal with that.
Yeah.
It's difficult for me. Very
It is
difficult.
challenging. But also, and this is something that I really struggle with because I taught in Korea for more than 10 years. And I think what I'm going to say might ruffle some feathers, but critical thinking there
Yeah.
is a little different than critical thinking
Say
here.
more.
Um, it's a safety issue. So, like, I
Ah.
wrote this series of short stories realizing that, Korean culture comes from, like so many decades of colonization. If we're just talking about like 19th, 20th century, right? Like we've got the Japanese colonization, then we've got like the authoritarian regime, and then we've got the Korean War, where the Americans came in.
Yeah.
So there was just never, at least this generation, there was never safety to have your own opinion.
Girl. Ooh,
And
it's
so, like,
landing.
and so when you don't have that safety, when you have that fear of being ostracized or being colonized or
Or
being,
being murdered down like they
that's right.
did the intellectuals in Gwangju.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You know
Oh,
your
I know.
history.
That's where my baby from. I had to know everything. Tell me more. Why do I love you so much? You from Gwangju. The most important thing that happened.
Yes.
And when I realized the group of people they went after, I was like, oh my.
Uh-huh. That's right.
And I just feel scared for someone like me in that situation. But I didn't even think about this part, right?
Yes. And so, like, it is in our blood. Maybe, I don't know. I was born in the States, but I'm still connected by blood
Epigenetically.
to that. Exactly. Thank you.
Uh,
That I have that fear of having an opinion,
Oh,
right? And my
okay,
mother,
okay. Can I ask a question?
yes, please.
So when you hear me just say the thing, are you like, yes, she did it, so I don't have to be the one to say it?
Well, yeah, there's that.
That,
Yes,
okay.
definitely. But also, I have finally got to a level of safety in my body after living in Korea.
Ah, okay.
Um,
So you went and reclaimed your
I,
safety back.
I reclaimed my safety, and therapy helps.
Ooh,
I recommend
that,
therapy to everybody.
yes,
But I
yes,
know I belong to my body now.
yes. Ooh, this is good.
But
This
I
is
feel like,
deep, girl.
in Korea, like
Mm,
the type, like mental health is also very different.
mm-hmm,
And like there's a lot of safety in collectivism.
mm,
And
mm, mm-hmm,
um
mm-hmm.
and that's kind of the hard part towards individuality, is you need to be able to feel safe in your body to do something different.
To move away from the collective.
That's exactly right. And so when we talk about critical thinking, I don't think, in discourse, we're having the right conversation about what the prerequisite for critical thinking
I
is.
think you're right because this feels new to me. This,
Yeah.
but it doesn't. It feels like something I knew that I
Yes,
didn't get
exactly.
articulated. Because I can see this across Asian cultures, not just
Mm-hmm.
Korean.
Mm-hmm.
I could feel it with certain friends, and I always just be like, "Why are you so quiet? Why don't you just say what
Yeah,
you think?
that's
Like,
right.
what's the problem, right?" And because my ancestors fought so diligently to have the voice
Yes.
that we feel it is our obligation to keep it strong and
Totally.
loud and bold. And you're doing a disservice to the culture when you're shy and quiet. And
Yeah.
it's almost the exact opposite.
Yes, because if you think about like all the different types of responses that you have to a threat, right? There's fawning, flying,
Yeah,
fighting,
yeah.
freezing,
Fawning, flight, fight.
fight.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. And
So you
so
know what my people gonna do? Square up.
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like with Korean culture, we fawn.
Yes. Damn. But then that's okay. If it's a cultural thing, now I realize why K-pop is so magnetic.
Ooh, tell
Ooh,
me more.
because the K-pop idols, baby, they know how to.
Fawn. Mm-hmm. They know how to, the egg yolk.
Egg yo, yeah,
Yeah, you got to survive. You know that whole thing about like, what is it? Stockholm syndrome? It's not
yeah,
even a thing. It's based on like this one person who was being nice and like flattering to this like person because they wanted to stay safe. They wanted to
yeah.
survive.
It was. I know the story of this. It was.
Right.
She was a famous actress back in the day that got kidnapped by some Russians, and
Oh,
to stay alive,
was hanging.
yeah. It was a survival tactic.
Spawning. That's right. And
So
so
I
it's
be
not, yeah.
seeing that from the idols with their fans
Uh-huh.
because they depend on their fans for survival. So we call
There
it
you go.
media training, fan service, Egyo.
Mhm.
They're not telling the truth
That's right.
because they don't want
They
to
got to
hurt their
stay
fans'
alive.
feelings, and that would affect their state. And not just monetary safety, but actual. We're a national nuclear weapon. We
That's right.
can't. We have to be ready to be detonating at any time, soft power wise. So we can never turn this off. We got to work. We got to keep them happy, keep them participating in the culture.
That's right.
Wow. We have unraveled threads in this last 50 minutes, and I think all of the hot takes, all of the clips, all circulating on the internet about these topics ain't
Well,
even touched.
yeah, and I know like eventually we
Patty
may like
Hearst.
pack a few more things in the future.
Yes.
But this was
That's
a
the
good
name. That's the name of the lady. If you look at Lady P, Patty Hearst. Go look
what's
that
that
up.
name?
Yes. Yeah, I told you this was gonna be more than a one-time thing, Ray.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I
serious.
knew it. I was like, we didn't even talk about the LA riots.
Oh my gosh. I know. We didn't talk about the LA riots. But I think like this whole safety piece was really important to unpack.
Yeah, absolute girl. That was the lightning bolt moment for me.
Yes. And
I'm
I,
gonna
you
go
know,
back and marinate on that.
well, I
I
also,
gotta give people a little break for not being as radical and loud as me, huh?
so, you know, okay, before we end, I do
Okay.
want to do like a short nod to the LA riots because so my
Okay.
mother, she's considered by many Korean music historians to be the first female singer-songwriter of South Korea. And
What?
so, mhm, and her, because she wrote music during the 1970s during the authoritarian regime, she disguised her critique of the government in her songs.
Of course she did.
Mhm.
Cause what else do musicians and artists do and
Right.
creatives do?
Hmm. We
Girl,
are
now you know I'm about
subversive.
to go down your mama's rabbit hole. I don't want to turn her into an idol though. So I'm gonna just spend as much time with just you and me until you
Yeah.
let me have her. Cause
Yeah.
whoa,
But so she proceeded like that, not just her, but like her generation of music preceded K-pop. And I want to say there was a lot more subversion
going
in
on.
that generation because it was so close to the source of that threat.
The reason why this is gonna be so my brain. I know that there's still though certain people even in K-pop doing the same thing. I just can't prove it. And
Yes.
once I hear your mother's music and the way she's doing it and the techniques and I'm gonna be able to trace it. I'm gonna be
Yes.
like, see, he doing the same thing. Sugar, August D, and Namjoon from
August
BTS
D
are doing
and
the
RM.
same thing. And the reason I know is because they're the ones who love hip hop more than
Yes.
anybody. And you pick up on that subversive music for
Yes.
a reason.
That's right. There
Oh,
is
girl, this is a
subversion
big
there.
rabbit hole.
And, I feel like when I listen to some of that, there is anger there. There is anger, there is rage, and yeah, it's layered.
But she
So
had to be safe.
you have to be safe. And so within the container that still allows you to be safe. But
This is so good. Oh, God, I'm so glad.
yeah, I'm so glad we started this because take two is going to go back to the LA riots. We're going to talk
Yes, let's
about,
talk about that.
and we're going to talk about Korean Black relationships.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, and like what needs to be addressed before repair.
When we finally sit down at the family dinner table,
Yes.
and what do they say when you're in the 12-step program? You make amends with people. I, from the Black delegation, will want to just say that I didn't understand that your demure,
Mm.
non-speaking quality was because epigenetically you don't feel safety in your body, and for that, I'm sorry.
Aw.
Right? Like I didn't know it was that layered. I just thought she was being a punk, right? Why you being a punk? They about to jump us right now. I need you to take off your earrings just like me and fight them, not me. Don't fight me. It's them.
Yeah, there are a lot of layers.
So many layers, girl. But we the ones. We're the ones.
We're gonna do it.
We gonna do it. It's gonna be fun too. Have you been to a K-pop concert?
First generation,
Who did
not
you
third.
go see?
I like my first concert was like Rulla. I don't know if you know Rulla. It's
No,
ROO apostrophe RA.
I've never
And
seen
then
it.
HOT, I think, was my
I've
second.
heard of them.
Yeah.
Oh, you got stories.
So, yeah, I'm in my 40s. Like, I don't know if I can survive in like a concert situation
Yes,
right
you can. It's fun.
now.
It's gonna be older Nunas than you in there.
Are
Yeah.
you, well, yeah. Are you coming to Baltimore for like the concert? No. Okay.
Why would what's going on in Baltimore?
Well, I think there's a Arirang, like a
Oh yeah,
BTS.
they're coming to Vegas.
Oh,
They'll be here
okay.
in 2 weeks. But I'm
Oh,
actually
okay.
not
Are you going?
going.
You're
No.
not going. Okay.
I don't really care for the album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay.
I like their other music, but
Me too.
I think there was like one song that I think isn't actually on the album or like
Yes,
it's
you're
a
talking about
hidden
Sugar's out.
song.
You talk about the song Sugar Road that's on the vinyl.
I
Come
don't know what
over,
it is.
that one?
I don't know, but there was like something that I liked, but it was either the last song or it wasn't included in. But yeah, this, I don't
It's
know.
probably the
Am I
song I'm
getting
thinking of.
canceled? Like, I didn't love this album. It was not my favorite.
I tolerate it, but it didn't draw me into to go see them live. I saw
Yeah.
them 4 years ago for Permission to Dance,
Oh,
and
that
I
was a
had
great album.
that was a good time.
Yeah,
So they got to entice me with something better.
yeah, for sure. Oh
Well,
my
this has
gosh,
been
Tracy.
wonderful.
This was a great conversation. I'm
Yes,
looking forward to
ma'am.
our next one.
Yes.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you.
So many
Thank you
more.
for the
I'm so
conversation.
happy to know you.
Same. I'm so glad we accidentally, but probably not accidentally, the universe brought us together. So
Yeah.
I'm glad
All
that
right, girl. Wait, no, I know exactly who brought us together. You better thank your mama's ancestors. Thank your mama's ancestors. And I'm going to thank mine.
yes, sounds like a good idea. I'll have a lot of prayer tonight.
All right.
Thank you,
We'll see
Tracy.
you
Have a
next
good one.
time.
Take care.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.